Hello there, friends. Welcome to episode 62 of That One Gaming Podcast. My name is Colin, but I'm otherwise known as Delicious Morsels, and here today with me is Lucas, aka Carnevil9. How is Lucas doing today?
Doing good.
Very good. And we've also got Neal here, better known as VMK89. How is Neal today?
I am determined not to derail the intro.
We appreciate that. I'll derail it instead.
No, please.
Oh, okay. I won't. We'll keep it going. Anyway, if you're new to this podcast, welcome. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, or one of the many other podcasting platforms out there, where the three of us get together every other week to talk about a variety of topics in the world of gaming. And this week is our third annual Halloween special. That's actually our second annual Halloween special. If you know, you know. And in the spirit of spooky time, the topic is video game franchises we'd raise from the dead. We've each compiled a few such franchises that have not seen new entries in quite some time for us to discuss today. But before we do that, at the front of our episodes, we like to talk about the games that we've been playing since the last episode. Lucas, what have you been playing?
Phantasy Star!
Nice!
Yeah.
You beat it, right?
I did beat it.
Yeah.
That game is so good, you should play it.
I plan to.
Good. It's really good.
As soon as I have a hole in my schedule when I can play it. Actually, no, that's a game on the list of games I want to stream, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I don't know when I'll get to it because streaming RPGs takes a long time when you're doing it once a week.
That's true.
And I'm already a week behind.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
Yep. Yeah. I love that game so much. I would like to not spend hundreds of dollars on games, but like, I think Phantasy Star is probably one that I'm willing to do that for now. This is probably the game that is going to make me get a Master System eventually.
Nice.
It's that good.
Dang.
Maybe even the Master Gear accessory so that I can play it on the go. Of course, also I needed a new screen for my Game Gear because it died, but
Oof.
yeah. Yeah, it's a very, very fun RPG. Honestly, playing it over at our friend Hunter's the other weekend, and he pointed out, it's like, oh, first-person mazes are kind of like the early Shin Megami Tensei games.
Yeah, and then the Etrian Odyssey games that are also made by Atlas
Yeah,
are like that too.
which Hunter is also a big fan of, coincidentally. So yeah, if you like those earlier Shin Megami Tensei or fan of the Etrian Odyssey series, probably would appreciate the first-person dungeon crawling. And then, yeah, it's a fun game. Classic and Dark Falls were both very difficult bosses. Which I would hope so, because, like, you know, Dark Falls is sort of like the big bad of every Phantasy Star game, so of course he'd be difficult, but yeah. Classic was fairly difficult too. It was like the person that you're trying to seek revenge on for having robot cops kill Alice's brother right in front of her.
My name is Alice Montoya. You killed my brother. Prepare to die.
Basically.
Nice. Yeah, the classic Phantasy Star series has always been something of intrigue for me, but I've never actually sat down to play them yet.
Me too, and that's why I'm doing that now.
Good.
But like shortly after I finished Phantasy Star 1, I started Phantasy Star Gaiden, They didn't really make any real progress on that though, because I like puttered around the starting village and then had to go to bed for work.
Mhm.
And then it's like most of my video game playing days are on days where my mother-in-law is watching Mavis for when we're at work, because then Becca picks up Mavis on those days. So I have the house to myself for a couple hours. So that's when I've been doing a bulk of my recording too, because I've also been playing Phantasy Star Online still. Surprise! But I've been recording new episodes for that one game extra Phantasy Star Online episode 2.
Nice.
It's going to be dropping weekly on Mondays. So
Cool.
first episode's up now. Second episode should be up on Monday or Tuesday. I forget which.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what your playtime was for Phantasy Star 1? Out of curiosity? Just curious how long a game it is, because Final Fantasy 1 is pretty short.
I don't off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah. Being how old it is, the game files didn't track any sort of in-game time. I can pull up my game tracker spreadsheet real quick and give you like my start date and end date. Not that it would give you much of an outline to go off of, because I was playing it very sporadically. I would guess it's probably about as long as Phantasy Star. Or not Phantasy. Yes, Phantasy Star is be about as long as Phantasy Star.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
How long to beat says about 16 hours for main story, so that's not too bad.
Yeah. I started it on October 10th and was done with it by the 21st. So
nice.
And that was just like playing it sporadically.
Oh wow, this is saying, according to How Long to Beat Phantasy Star Gaiden, which is the one you just started, is only 8 hours.
Yeah, it's a pretty short game from what I've seen. But yeah, looking forward to starting Phantasy Star Gaiden properly, because I really want to get to Phantasy Star 2, because I've heard that game is great.
Yeah,
Except I still can't get to Phantasy Star 2 because I accidentally found a like full timeline of the After Wars timeline of the classic Phantasy Star series, and
wait, After War, is this take place in the Gundam X timeline?
No.
Oh, unfortunate.
It's sort of a localization thing that also after Wise, which is Waizz, who was Wise Landale, who was an ancestor of Alice Landale, who like united the planets of the Algo star system that Lassic evidently killed and took over, or something like that. Oh wait, no, he unites Palma. Never mind. Don't pay attention to me.
But yeah, back to like Phantasy Star 2. For everything that I've heard, like 2 and 4 are the big highlights of the classic Phantasy Star series.
That's what I've heard as well. Yeah. Yeah. Also, between Phantasy Star and Phantasy Star 2 is Phantasy Star Gaiden, Phantasy Star Adventure, which is another Game Gear game.
Interestingly, How Long to Beat has that at a whopping hour and a half playtime.
That sounds game.
So that shouldn't take you too long to get through that one.
Then there's the Phantasy Star 2 text adventures. There's a compilation of like prequel text adventures for the various characters for the Sega Mega CD. It technically came out after Phantasy Star 2, but it's all like prequel stories for the characters that you play as in Phantasy Star 2. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Just when I think I could just go to Phantasy Star 2, I can't.
Unfortunate.
Oh, wow, there's another Duke Nukem looking guy. What a surprise.
But what has Neal been playing?
I've been playing a few things. If you were on our Discord stream earlier this week, you might have heard that I finally beat Silver in Sonic Generations.
Finally, it was used.
Finally, yes. It just took saving up my boost until but I definitely had to spend quite a bit of time failing before I got there. I will say my rage level was much lower than a certain other person in that stream.
It wasn't me.
No, not you. Surprisingly,
I'm surprisingly okay at keeping my rage level to a minimum in streams.
Yeah.
Only in streams though.
Right, yeah.
Any other context, like if we're like doing like just regular voice chat over games, like, well, no, even that I'm usually pretty okay. But like when I'm playing a game by myself,
rage. Yep. Well, speaking of that, I moved on to the Egg Dragoon fight, and while I probably wouldn't say I raged at all, it was very much I am not good at this. You have to chase. I don't know if it's exactly like how it is in Sonic Unleashed because I haven't played that far into Unleashed, but basically just chasing him around a big giant track. He does some various attacks, and if you do certain things while he's doing those attacks, you can get a chance to hit him. Otherwise, he'll switch to a mode where it's a 2D, essentially side view. You have to jump over his ice shots. There's some rings for you. And eventually he'll put down 2 giant wall /hand things that you're supposed to wall jump while also avoiding some ice blasts that's going down the center. And if you screw it up, he smushes you. Fortunately, you don't die, but you do lose all your rings, and you have to be really careful. It's coming up, he might shoot more ice blasts at you right away, so you have to be on your toes if that happens. But yeah, I got to a point where I was like, I'm not making any progress in this. Let me just do something else. And I stopped, and I haven't gone back yet. But also, in Sonic-related PS3 games, last weekend at our Magic Night, it was just me and our friend Hunter, as everybody else was either sick or away in the thumb or not available. So we popped in my copy of Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed for PS3. And holy hell, that game is really good. It scratched an itch that I didn't realize I had, which was wanting to play a brand new Mario game. Mario Kart game, rather. There's a bunch of different characters unlocked from the start, and unlike Mario Kart, it's not like Mario characters and a dabbling of other Nintendo characters. It's literally just tons of Sega characters from all over the place, with a dabbling of Sonic characters. So that's awesome. And it controls really good. I remember when it came out, people were like, because it was very shortly after Mario Kart 7, people were like, oh, they're doing boats and planes, and they're just taking what Mario Kart 7 was doing and doing it their own way. It's just Sonic copying Mario more. But honestly, it handles both boats and flying way better than Mario Kart 7 and 8. Because for one thing, the flying is not just gliding, it's actual flying and a little bit of dogfighting in there with your rockets and such. So yeah, it's actually a lot more interesting than gliding in Mario Kart. And the boat levels, you're not just driving underwater, you're on the top of the surface and there's waves and stuff. It's real cool. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be bringing that back because not only is multiplayer, you can do like campaign mode with multiplayer. Yeah, you can have 4 people all unlocking courses or characters. But yeah, it was a ton of fun for both of us, and I've played it a little bit since on my own, enjoying the hell out of it.
It almost sounds to me like the spiritual successor to Diddy Kong Racing, but it's Sonic.
I could see that. I haven't played that game, but yeah,
sounds like there's a lot of similarities there.
Okay. One other side.
Naturally, I should bring my N64 so we can ABM them.
One quick thing. While we were there, our other mutual friend JJ was still there for a while, we reignited the conversation we had way back in episode 10? I think, of the controller buttons.
Yes.
And something came to me that never came to me when we were doing that episode, which was the Ouya having its own layout of buttons.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the Ouya.
That was the thing
Yeah.
that existed.
Yep.
Yeah. So incredibly frustrating because they use the name Ouya, OuyA, as their button layout, which isn't a terrible idea. It introduces a U button, which is never been used in any other game.
Yep. Not even the Wii U.
Yeah.
Press U. No U.
But yeah, so it's Ouya spelled out, starting on the bottom where the O is, and then going clockwise from there, which means the Y is where it is on the Xbox, the A is where it is on the S and the S, and the O is not where it is on the PlayStation.
Gross.
It's awful to think about it.
That's why the Ouya failed.
Yep.
Yeah. I did, when I was Googling it just now, just to make sure I had the layout right, apparently Towerfall, made by the Celeste developers, originally came out as a Ouya exclusive. Yeah.
That's right.
Did not know that, but interesting fact about the Ouya, I guess.
Yeah.
Whack.
Anyway, I've derailed this again. Colin.
Which is weird because I'm the only one that knows how to operate a locomotive.
Choo choo.
So what have you been playing?
I have continued to be playing on my weekly Discord live streams Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Started Ventus's story this past week. And for whatever reason, it's just way easier this time around than it was with Terra. Like, there's some bosses that you fight that are the same as in Terra's campaign. And it was like way easier with Ventus. And I don't know if they like nerfed it or if what was going on, but like a boss that I struggled with as Terra for like 20 minutes when I fought it before, I beat it first try with Ventus. And I'm like, what's going on here? I can't be that much better. Like,
my skills haven't improved this much.
I don't understand, but I'm really enjoying Ventus's playthrough so far because it has not been a struggle bus like Terra's was. Like, no, it was really funny because like every single boss with Terra, I felt like I struggled with for a minute. Some for significantly more than a minute. And Ventus, I'm like steamrolling right through this. Maybe I'll actually get it done in 3 streams instead of 4, like with Terra. But there's also some fancy secret hidden part of the game extra after you finish all 3 characters' campaigns, assuming you complete certain criteria to unlock it. And I was originally not going to go for that because it was just a lot of out of the way collectathon stuff. And I was like, the last night of the Terra stream, I was like, you know what? Let's just go around and do this because it took me like a half an hour of that stream to get all that done. And then I went and finished Terra's story, basically. But basically there are little stickers that you find throughout every level that you had to collect. And you have to collect every single one and then place them on a little sticker sheet in a specific way. And then you do that for all 3 characters. And then that's where I was told all I would have to do initially.
Mm-hmm.
And then come to find out, after I went through the trouble of doing all that for Terra, there was another stipulation that you have to kill 10,000 unversed, which are this game's version of Heartless.
Over 10,000?
And then it was like, and by the end of Terra's campaign, they gave you a list of a bunch of stats throughout your playthrough and stuff. And it said I killed just over 3,000 with Terra. And I was like, oh.
Nope. Noping right out of here.
I don't know about this now, guys. Depending on how smoothly Ventus and Aqua go, I may try and grind it out, because if I'm killing about roughly the same amount for each character, that gets me to 9,000. And then it's kind of a hop and a skip up to 10, but we'll see how it goes. The bad thing about it is there's no real way to track it. The only way you get to track it is through that stat at the end of the game. So that part kind of sucks. So we'll see. I generally don't like doing completionist stuff, but I'm being told that this extra scene is not even like just like a cutscene or anything. Like it's a full like half hour to an hour's worth of extra gameplay that you unlock at the end of the game. So it's like, I'm being told it's worth it. So we'll see. I do like Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep a lot, though. This game is very, very fun. Also, I did not forget to save before the Lilo and Stitch level this time. But also, that's not the first level that I'm doing next time anyway. So, but I have also been playing Metaphor Re-Fantasio.
Now, this is the fourth entry in the Meta series, correct?
Correct. Developed by Facebook.
Yep.
Let me just say this game is fantastico. So I mentioned on a previous episode, I don't think it was the last one, it might have been the last episode, but I played through the demo and I had mixed thoughts on it with the demo, in that it had a lot more Persona DNA than I was kind of hoping it would, with it being a new IP, but I mean, it is the same team that made Persona 3, 4, and 5.
Persona.
So I was like, I wasn't really sure. But then I was like, you know what? I love Persona. So what's the problem? So from there on, it's like I finally got my copy of the game. I got it a few days late after launch just because it was, I got the collector's edition and it was shipping out of Canada. And Video Games Plus, who I ordered it through, they had a delay from their shipment of collector's editions and customs. So they were a few days behind shipping than they normally would have been. So I got my copy a few days late, but I finally got to it, and I've been playing through the game basically nonstop since I got my copy. I am literally at like just shy of 60 hours so far, and this game is incredible. I've had, just in the last 10, 15 hours alone, I've had so many like twists and turns of the story that is just like more so than most games will have in their entire runtimes. And like, well, Colin, a lot of games are only 10 or 15 hours long. Yeah, but also like proportionately to like the length of the game.
Weren't we just saying that Phantasy Star 1 was only about that long?
Yeah, exactly. But like proportionately to the length of the game, there's been such an incredible amount of twists and turns on this in the story. It's just like stuff that you see coming, and other stuff that's like, oh, and other stuff that's just like, oh. It's just so incredibly well told and executed. I still think, as of this point, I'm 60 hours in this game. As of this point, my favorite game of this year is still Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, just as a complete package. But strictly speaking of the game's story, this is by far and away the best story of any game that I played that's come out this year. It's incredible. It's an incredibly special game that if you're a fan of RPGs, it's a must play. It sounds like it's a long game, but it doesn't waste your time at all. Like there isn't a single moment. Like I just said, I spent 60 hours on it. It feels like I spent 30. Like it's one of those games that just time just kind of melts away and you don't really realize you put as much time into it because it doesn't feel that you put that much time into it, if that makes sense. It's very, very good. The basic premise is basically the king has been assassinated by this guy that's trying to usurp the throne. And right as he's trying to basically take over and announce himself as the new king, the dead king uses his magical powers that only the royal bloodline has access to basically say, screw you, I'm inventing democracy. And basically announces that the successor to the throne will be chosen by the will of the people. And it kicks off this entire like globe-trotting adventure where you're going around the country to all the major cities in this country to rally support behind you to be able to have the most people supporting you as the rightful claim to the throne. And your character is basically the best friend of the prince, the king's son, who was also, air quotes, murdered. He had a curse put on him, and he was basically like, he's alive but unconscious in this like comatose state with this curse and stuff. So you're trying to figure out how to lift the curse, but simultaneously going around gathering support so that way when you take the throne, you can be like, actually, now that ideally by then, now that we've revived the prince, we can pass the throne off to the actual rightful heir to this throne, sort of thing. So that's kind of like the basic, like, top level setup for the game's plot. And it's just incredibly, incredibly well told. And the villain in this game is his name is Count Luis. And he's like, from the very beginning, like, this is the guy you're going to be fighting in the final battle and stuff. Like the opening scene is him stabbing a knife through the king's chest in his bed. So it's like, right away, like, this is the bad guy. But what they do with him throughout this game, and you encounter him a couple times throughout the game before the final battle and stuff, because he's just this constant presence throughout the game, because you're all kind of racing against each other in this new democratic style of election and stuff. And like, there's other candidates and stuff, and you can get up on podiums and have debates with them to raise your certain stats and stuff. It's really, really cool. But yeah, it's such a fantastic game, and the story is just mind-blowingly well done, and I love it so much. I'm approaching the final stretch now to the end of the game, and I don't want it to end because it's so good, but I also want to beat it so I can play other games too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a definite recommend for anyone that's a fan of RPGs. It is a once in a generation kind of video game. It's incredible. But let's move on now to our Hey Listener segment.
Hey, listen!
Each episode, we ask our Discord members a prompt based on the topic of the episode for them to respond to. And if you, the listener, would like to join the fun, there is a link to our Discord down below, and we hope to see you there. This week is our Halloween special, and the topic is all about franchises that we would raise from the dead. So naturally, we asked our Discord members what franchises they would raise from the dead. And we got a couple write-ins today. Our first one comes from Lord Kirov, who writes Command and Conquer. I would find some way to rip it away from EA and give it to the devs that understand how an RTS should be made. Keep the campy, fun aspects of things from it and make the past games still canon. No reboot or prequel. Just make things on a grander scale and have a modding community and have modding available from day one. I don't know. Just my gut response. And go ahead.
I mean, taking things away from EA, giving them to people that actually care about it always sounds like
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not surprised Kirov brought this up, considering his username is a reference to Command and Conquer.
Yeah. And our next write-in comes from Jazzy, who writes Jak and Daxter. We haven't seen a new entry since the PS2. I love the series, and as rage-inducing as 2 is, and sometimes 3, I think a new Jak game with modern controls, better shooting mechanics, and tighter platforming could be incredible. I am inclined to agree.
Same.
I'm still not the biggest fan of the first game, just because it's more of a 3D platforming collectathon type game. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
I actually really like Jak 2, even though it's just a bad GTA clone. It's like one of the first games that we got with our PS2, and I actually really like it.
I really dislike Jak 2, and I ended up trying Jak and Daxter because I saw the first one from some store, and it was like, oh, this is a good game, nice.
Completely opposite.
Yep, we're both on opposite sides here.
And I never did get around to playing Jak 3, but I did play a little of a demo of Jak X, which was like a combat racing game.
Yes. Heard about
that was kind of fun.
Seems like something that would be up my alley.
It was pretty neat. From what I
Although I
remember.
wanna
I think I
say-
actually still have that demo disc too.
I want to say combat racing is like super hard to find and it is expensive. I may be totally off here.
If only there were other ways to play PlayStation 2 games.
Oh, you mean on a PlayStation 3?
Valid point. Oh no, they re-released it for the PS4.
Oh, cool.
Interesting. But anyway, that's our Hey Listener segment. Thank you for writing in. Now let's get to our games that we would raise from the dead. Lucas, why don't you start us off with your first pick?
In a total surprise to no one, the Mega Man X series.
What?
I don't count Mega Man X Dive because it is very much not a main series game, but Mega Man
Is that
X8,
even a platformer?
It is, actually.
It is still a platformer? Okay.
Yep.
It's basically just like a gotchified Mega Man X
Yeah.
like anthology type game in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, that hits the nail on the head pretty much. You get to play as like characters from all of the different Mega Man X entries, and get a variety of weapons to choose from and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's still a gacha game wearing a Mega Man X skin. We haven't had a proper Mega Man X game since 2004 with Mega Man X8.
That's a crime.
Oof.
It really is a crime because Mega Man X8 is probably the best Mega Man X game since Mega Man X4 on the PlayStation 1. And
I mean, 20XX and 30XX have proven that it's still a thing you could make and people would eat up.
absolutely. I love 20XX. I put more hours than I probably should have into it. Mainly because it did kind of actually like put me behind on recording some That One Game series.
Oof.
Oops. Anyways.
Oh
Record
no, you
yourself playing
found a new
20XX.
game that was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Mega Man X8 was like the perfect modernization of the classic Mega Man X formula for me. And it's a crying shame that they have never followed up on it. Capcom tends to do that with their Mega Man games. The only series that's had a proper ending to it is the Zero series. So, yeah. I guess maybe the Battle Network series as well. I haven't played those yet. But yeah, there was just so much that Mega Man X8 did right that they absolutely could have continued on with in another game. Plus, X8 ends on a cliffhanger.
The worst.
Absolutely the worst.
It's like when Cartoon Network canceled Thundercats 2011 after one season. And
Yeah.
that season ended on a cliffhanger.
Yep.
Hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, like spoilers for the ending of a 20-year-old game, but after you defeat Lumine, like Lumine unleashes one final attack that shatters the jewel on Axel's helmet and renders him unconscious. And then the game ends with like X and Zero pondering life while Axel's still hanging out unconscious. And then you see like a little purple glow coming from Axel's head jewel, and like that was white with purple accents was kind of Lumine's color scheme. And a bit of Mega Man X lore. Axel is like the prototype of a new generation of Reploids that was based off of Sigma's DNA. Gets very confusing. If you haven't like followed the series all the way up. But anyways, at some point it was decided to build a new generation of Reploids, and they used Sigma's DNA as the basis for it so that they wouldn't go Maverick. That as soon as you involve Sigma, like Maverick's gonna happen. So yeah, Axel is unconscious. X and Zero are busy contemplating life on the ride down from the orbital elevator to the moon. And yeah, they just leave you on a cliffhanger. So we've been wondering if Axel is doing all right for almost 20 years now.
It has been 20 years now.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yep. And Mega Man X8 was actually like a proper return to form, finally. And then they just kind of let it languish. Which, I mean, from a marketing perspective. This was during like the big Mega Man saturation of the mid 2000s, because they also had like the Zero series going on, the Battle Network series going on, just released like the remake of Mega Man X1 on the PSP, as well as Mega Man Powered Up. And also there's the Battle Network anime going on. And there's Mega Man and Bass ported to the Game Boy Advance for the first time in English-speaking regions. So there was a lot of Mega Man going on all at once. So like, I kind of understand why they would want to maybe scale back on Mega Man content for a bit, but
It's been 20 years, Capcom.
It's been 20 years, Capcom.
It's been 20 years, Capcom.
I just want to know that Axel is doing okay. He's a good boy. And for as much maligned as Mega Man X7 was, Axel actually made that game for me. Like, it was a bit odd that you don't get to play as Mega Man X for like the first 2/3 of Mega Man X7, but I really enjoy Axel's character, and like he's a good fit for like X and Zero. It's like the young up and coming hunter that full of like go get 'em energy, while like X and Zero are more calm and reserved.
They've seen some things.
Yep.
Huh.
It's just it's a fun character dynamic, I think.
Who knew? Characters in video games named Axel being great characters. Got it memorized?
Yep. And so yeah, just like over those last 2 Mega Man X games, when I was doing my big Mega Man marathon at the end of last year, like I really like Axel as a character. And the ending of X8 just kind of crushed me. Like, this was a really good game, and now Axel is just sitting here in X's hands for the next 20 years or so, give or take.
Yeah.
We still haven't had any sort of inclination that Capcom is ever going to revisit the X series. And
yeah,
it's likely not, because it's not Monster Hunter or Street Fighter.
They don't even seem interested in just revisiting Mega Man right now, even though we keep telling them to.
Yep.
It's consistently top of their polls when they're polling people. It's like, hey, Capcom.
Yep.
More Mega Man. But then they're like, oh, so you want Mega Man collabs in all of our other games? That's what you mean, right? It's like, no. It's like Ubisoft with Splinter Cell putting Sam Fisher in all of their other stupid games when all we want is a new freaking Splinter Cell.
Yeah. It's like there's so many Capcom series that I actually don't care about and still probably refuse to care about because they do not care about the one series I care about. Yeah. I shouldn't say that. I do really enjoy Street Fighter, and I've heard that I would probably enjoy Monster Hunter. I haven't touched the series yet, but that's, Mega Man related.
Yeah. Neal, what's your first game? Series.
My first game.
Yeah.
Franchise that I'd like to bring back. It's kind of a cheat because we're pretty sure it's coming back based on some things people have put out. Specifically Sega. Specifically Jet Set Radio. This is always a game I've sort of admired from afar. I don't have too much experience in Jet Set Radio. I do have the original remake that came out in 2012 for Steam, but even before I had played that, I played a spiritual successor called Hover to the game, and I felt like that game handled way better than the original that was originally on the Dreamcast. What I'd really like is for them to re-release Jet Set Radio Future, because I've heard that improves everything about the original, but it's trapped on the Xbox.
Oof.
So if you can get a backwards compatible Xbox 360, that's probably the best way to play it. I have seen a bit of Proton John's playthrough of Jet Set Radio Let's Play. I don't know if he finished that. I didn't finish the Let's Play, and he might not have either because it's Proton John. but I would like to experience that game, and I think it would help a lot of people get into it, because some of the music in that game is fantastic. Jet Set Radio Future's soundtrack is great. Get in there with Hideki Naganuma. I hope for this new Jet Set Radio game they're making, they have Hideki Naganuma on the team, because he's part of that game's musical identity. But yeah, like obviously I want them to make a new game because it sounds like what they're doing, but I feel like they really should re-release it, sort of maybe in like a Metroid Prime remastered leading into Metroid Prime 4 kind of situation. But I will take just a new Jet Set Radio game too. Yeah. But yeah. So that's my opinion on that. I know Bomb Rush Cyberpunk does exist, and I should probably play it, but I find my time playing games consumed by that one games and not much else. So, Colin, what's your first game?
Well, I had a different series picked out, and then right toward the end of Lucas's first pick, Splinter Cell came to mind. So, Ubisoft, where is Splinter Cell? I want it back. Amidst all the turmoil that Ubisoft is going through right now, they are not in a very good place right now. They are supposedly remaking the first game, but now it's like, I don't know if that'll ever see the light of day because Ubisoft is kind of tanking right now quite hard. And that makes me sad because I want Splinter Cell back. This is the best stealth action franchise. I'm just going to say it. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory is the best stealth action video game ever made. I love the Metal Gear Solid franchise, but I've just always felt that the more grounded, set just a few years ahead of modern times. So it's still a very grounded experience with Splinter Cell. I've always found that a lot more enjoyable. I love Sam Fisher as a character. He's just got this great dark sense of humor that I love. And just the way the game's played, I like the way they play more than Metal Gear Solid. They had a lot more of an emphasis on light and shadow and using cool gadgets and stuff to accomplish your missions and all that. And the earlier games were a lot more punishing on you if you failed the stealth portions of it, but Chaos Theory introduced a lot more of a just kind of play your way type thing, and I think that benefited the series a lot, where if you get caught, it's not a mission failure type scenario. You just suddenly you found yourself in a firefight, and you got to figure out how to navigate a way out of there and stuff. And then the co-op mode that I had in Chaos Theory was so good as well. So much fun to play. It was only 5 missions, but they were so infinitely replayable with someone playing with you and stuff. You could do some goofy stuff. Like there was one mission with a rocket silo. My brother and I would always try and goof around and see if we can jump on top of the rocket and stuff. So fun. But then another aspect of Splinter Cell that they introduced with the second game, Pandora Tomorrow, was the multiplayer mode Spies versus Mercs, where there were 2 teams, but the one team was a traditional first-person shooter type of game, which was the Mercenaries, and then the other team was the Spies, where you would play the game like your traditional Splinter Cell gameplay. And it had this really, really interesting dynamic to it that I never really got to experience myself because I had dial-up back in the day. But just watching footage of how it all played out, it just looks so fun to me. And that would be such an incredible multiplayer experience in the modern day of multiplayer gaming. And we just don't have access to it anymore. And it's a shame.
Yep.
I miss Splinter Cell so much. The last game that came out was Blacklist in 2015. So it's been almost 10 years since that. And I never really played all the way through that one. They were starting to move it in a direction that I felt wasn't as good. It was kind of more of an open world type thing where it wasn't like full Ubisoft open world yet, but you could tell they were moving it in that direction. And it didn't really fit the stealth gameplay as well. That in Splinter Cell Conviction, the game prior to that, they introduced a mechanic called Mark and Execute, which basically, I mean, it was fun. I really liked Conviction, the game itself. I had a lot of fun with it, but Mark and Execute, I feel like in hindsight, really kind of broke the Splinter Cell gameplay formula because it basically let you tag a bunch of enemies and then you push a button and you automatically take them all out. Just instant headshots back to back to back to back to back, basically.
Oh.
And it really kind of defeated a lot of the actual stealth of the gameplay because you could crawl yourself up and perch on a wall basically and then just look around the room and tag all the enemies. And I mean, you could only do a certain number at a time. I think when the game started out, you can only mark to 3, and then over the course of the game, you can upgrade it to be able to mark up to 5 at a time. But just being able to just essentially bypass the need to like sneak up on an enemy or actually like get that precision headshot down and everything with your timing and all that kind of, in hindsight, I felt really broke the experience. And they've adapted that to other games like Assassin's Creed and stuff like that over the years as well. Like Assassin's Creed Mirage that came out last year, which was kind of a return to form for the series. And I really liked it when I played through it, but it had this mechanic in it that they came up with this fancy name and they were using it in all their marketing and stuff. It's like, look at this stuff you can do to take down all these people really quickly and stuff. It's like, Ubisoft, that's just mark and execute. It's been a thing since Splinter Cell. When Splinter Cell did it like way back in like 2011. Like, where is Splinter Cell, Ubisoft? You're borrowing things. Now you're at a point where you're not just putting Sam Fisher in Rainbow Six or in Ghost Recon as a cameo character. Now you're just straight up stealing mechanics that originated in Splinter Cell. Just give us Splinter Cell. Come on. I know it's probably not going to sell 10 million copies like you need it to, but you know what? Sometimes a game doesn't need to sell 10 million units to justify its existence. Give us more Splinter Cell. At least finish that remake and put the remake out before you like shutter your doors, please.
Mm-hmm.
Or sell Splinter Cell to somebody that cares, please. Yeah. Sell it to me. I'll give you $1 for it. That's all I can afford, sadly. But yeah, I miss that series a lot. I met one of my best friends I've ever had through a mutual interest in that series. So it's very special to me, and I miss it. Lucas, your second game franchise.
Well, this is going to sound like it's coming from left field for me, but it is the Gradius series.
What?
Yeah. Kind of something that I don't really talk about a whole lot, but I am a big fan of horizontal shoot-'em-ups like the Gradius games or like R-Type, Biometal, G-Darius, those type of games. There's also a Gradius parody spin-off series made by Konami called Parodius, which is also a lot of fun. Brings in other characters from various other Konami shoot-'em-ups like Twin Bee. I just really enjoy the way that Gradius plays as a shoot-'em-up. It's got a very simplistic level-up system. Like you collect power-ups that'll increase a little meter along the bottom of your screen, and it'll give you different upgrades for your ship. Traditionally, it's Vic Viper, but some other games include other ships available to you, like Lord British is sort of the protagonist of like the Life Force Salamander games. This is another Gradius spin-off, but it, much like Mega Man X, has been, I believe, since 2004. Since Gradius 5, the most recent like mainline series entry. There was Gradius Rebirth back in 2011 or 2009. Let me get my timeline straight real quick.
I didn't know this series was as new as the PS2.
Yeah. Most recent entry in the Gradius series was Gradius the Slot. It's a patchy slot, pachinko slot machine game from 2011, released in Japan. I really enjoy the Gradius games for how they are. Like, they collaborated with Treasure. They're known for like Ikaruga and Gunstar Heroes. Ikaruga is another incredibly popular shoot 'em up game. It's sort of a Danmaku Fu shoot 'em up. Like similar vein to like the Toho games, maybe. One that I haven't actually played, so I can't really speak a whole lot on Ikaruga, but I do really enjoy games made by Treasure, Gunstar Heroes especially. It's up there with one of my favorites on the Genesis, actually. And our local game store happened to have a copy of that one time, along with a copy of Phantasy Star 2, and I asked to see what the prices were, because they were kind of obscured for being in the front display case, and they were both over $100.
Yikes.
Yep. I have expensive tastes, apparently.
Apparently.
Yep.
That's okay.
I act
I
like
bought-
these are expensive when I bought Mega Man X3 for $300. Yep.
Yeah, and the next game I'll talk about has some expense in it as well. But then also earlier I talked about Metaphor, and I bought the collector's edition for that game twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I really enjoy Konami's various shoot 'em up series, and I would love to see a new Gradius game. So yeah, give us Gradius 6, or at least like make them more accessible to us, please.
There's a shmup in Final Fantasy 15.
Good.
Yeah. It's actually you can go into some of the diners throughout the game, and it looks like a pinball table, but then you click into it and it's just like a fully featured shoot 'em up style game. Well, no, it is kind of like it's like a mix between a shmup and a pinball game. It's interesting, and it's got its own unique music that goes with it, and it's really good.
Yeah,
and it's actually a pretty good mini game.
Lucas, did you ever play the Flash? It was a vertical shooter, but it was a vertical shooter that me and one of our mutual friends made in high school.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a solid game.
It was.
I did some, but not all of the graphics for that. But it was also the main beta tester, essentially.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for shoot 'em ups. I can blame Capcom with a 1941 counterattack on that one.
Shoot 'em ups have always been games that I've kind of admired from afar. Like I dabble with them every now and then, but they're never anything that I've ever really gotten very deep into.
Yeah,
I always thought Galaga was really cool.
I love Galaga.
Most common ones, since they were paired with Miss Pac-Man a lot.
Yep. Yeah, there was a Galaga Miss Pac-Man combo arcade machine that evidently had a cheat code that let you play original Pac-Man.
Nice.
Huh.
Or like it's Galaga's predecessor, Galaxian, very fun. Galaga 3 is fun. The 1940X series, like 1942, 43, 41 Counterattack, 1940X, which was like a weird time travel plot, 1942 style game. Those are all fun. Yeah, Capcom makes really good shoot 'em ups as well. I think the 1942 series is like my go-to for vertical shoot 'em ups, like as opposed to Konami with Gradius and the horizontal shoot 'em ups. So yeah, Varth Operation Thunderstorm, another Capcom shoot 'em up, is another favorite of mine. So if you ever come across that, I would definitely check that out.
Okay.
Yeah,
they're actually selling Miss Pac-Man Galaga combo arcade cabinets at Costco in our area.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. I went through there recently with my mom, and she had always joked about when she retired she would buy a Pac-Man cabinet in her retirement because she loved it so much.
It'd be a good way to spend the day.
Right?
My mom used to do housekeeping in a local retirement home where we grew up, and there was this lady that there's a husband and wife in one of the rooms there that had an NES set up at their TV, and my mom got talking to her about it because, I was into classic games like those on the NES and like
Right.
Apparently, like she would actually just play Tetris daily.
Wow.
Yeah. So, whenever mom would clean her room, she would tell me, "Oh, we cleaned the Tetris lady's room today." And it's like, all right. So yeah, like I would love to have my own arcade cabinet. And I say that as if I don't have a desktop motherboard with a CPU, plenty of CRT monitors to choose from. I've got all of the core components I need basically to set up my own MAME arcade cabinet, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it because of various things. I need to do that. And then I should bring it over to Hunter's house on Magic Night one night and
There you go.
make everyone confused why I'm hauling a arcade machine up their stairs.
Right.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
It's only 3
hilarious.
flights.
Yeah, there's multiple doors you have to get past too.
Yep.
Nice.
I should do that though.
Funny.
Yeah, these are just
Worth it.
maybe somewhere in the 13 to 15 inch CRT monitor ballpark. So they're not massive screens. So I was thinking of trying to clone something like the Cabaret cabinet, which are slightly shrunken down, compact arcade cabinets. I first learned about that form factor of arcade cabinet from LGR. They had bought a Missile Command arcade cabinet in the Cabaret form factor. And here's real small, compact, send a picture, have a reference. Coincidentally, next to a Galaga machine, since we were talking about shoot 'em up and all things. Yeah, just a nice, compact arcade machine. That's honestly probably about what I have space for at my house. And
nice.
Yeah.
That doesn't look any bigger than the what are they? The 1-up arcade cabinets with the stands attached to them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, about that size.
Nice. Yeah, I too also want to build an arcade cabinet, but not specifically for arcade specific games.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'd be running off of something capable of doing just general emulation and stuff that I can play basically whatever I want on it. Because there's a lot of modern games that would be kind of fun on arcade sticks.
Yeah. We'd actually talked about doing that once.
Yeah. Yeah, because
I
forget what game I was playing recently. It might have been Dragon Ball Sparking Zero that I was playing recently. It's I was thinking as I was playing it, this would be really fun on an arcade cabinet actually with an actual arcade stick.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's especially because a lot of modern arcade or modern fighting games we don't see in arcade cabinets over here because if they don't dispense tickets to win prizes at Dave & Buster's or Craig's Cruisers, we don't get them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the arcade scene over in Japan is still flourishing.
Yep. You can tell just by their inclusion in the Yakuza games. Every game has a Sega arcade.
Yep. Yeah. Sega arcades are huge over in Japan.
Yeah.
We had that still.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, but Neal, what's your second franchise that needs to be arisen?
Well, it's kind of a joke in the gaming community by this point that Valve is afraid of the number 3.
They just can't count past 2.
That too. But if Valve were to say they will make one of their games have a third entry, I would absolutely vote for Portal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These games are great. I still haven't played Portal 2, but Portal 1 is great enough that I don't even care. I mean, I've heard enough good things about Portal 2. It's not they did a train wreck. But no, Portal 3 would be an excellent game that I'd love to see made. The gameplay is so unique. And unlike like Half-Life, where it was an amazing game and it was super influential, Portal, there wasn't really all that much like clones from Portal because of how like unique it is that if you were to try to make something similar, it would just be Portal again. Not to stop people from making various alterations to Portal. I know there was a Portal 2D Flash game back in the day that I loved playing.
Someone managed to make Portal for the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
That's
and it
fantastic.
runs on the original hardware.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I will say I'm kind of like also hopeful for this one, just because they recently released that Portal Companion compilation. I know it's at least on Switch. I don't know where else it's been. But, floating Portal out there for kids with Switches. Get them into it. Maybe you could get Portal 3 down the line.
Yeah.
Maybe they're
Portal
already
just
making
has
it.
Such a fun sense of humor to it as well.
It really does. Interestingly, the game was originally a student project for a final at DigiPen, which is a animation and gaming school in Seattle. And Valve came around to look at some of the games there, and they saw their Portal game, which at the time was about a princess with magical powers. None of the Aperture Science stuff. But they saw that and were like, we're making this. Go ahead, Colin, though.
So I have an idea, and if anyone at Valve is listening to this, you can have this idea for free, because it's not fully developed yet, and I have no idea how it would work. But you have Portal 1, single-player game, single-player experience.
Ooh.
Portal 2, they added co-op. There was 2 players for Portal 2. So what I am suggesting for Portal 3, make it a 3-player game. But here's the twist. It's still a 2-player cooperative experience.
Ooh.
The 3rd player is the little antagonistic robots.
That's interesting.
And kind of tries to throw a wrench into the other player's plans.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
No idea how that would work, but
so many different ways you can take it. But
yeah.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
Would love anything following up the Portal franchise. GLaDOS is amazing.
Yep.
So
get Jonathan Colton to do another song.
Yep.
I'm sure that would be fantastic too.
Bring back Mike Patton to voice the Anger Core. Still Wild, the lead singer of Faith No More, is like making Anger Core sounds. Actually, if you've heard any of his other side projects, it's not really that much of a surprise, but just listen to Carrie Stress in the Jaw. He makes plenty of Anger Core sounds on that.
Someone needs to animate the Anger Core singing that song.
Yes.
Anyway, I'll pass it over to Colin here. What's your number 2?
Well, I mentioned that my next pick was going to have some pricey expensiveness to it.
Oh, no.
And, well, my next pick is the Xenosaga franchise. Published by... Yep. Famously, Xenosaga 3, the last game that they released in the series, goes for regularly well over $200.
Yeah.
It's an expensive game.
Yeah.
But I own it. Haven't played it yet. As of this point, I've only played Xenosaga 1, but I really like the vibes of this franchise. It's a sci-fi spacefaring adventure type RPG franchise. Dude, it's incredible. Yeah, it definitely, if you're a fan of the Phantasy Star Classic series, I think you'd find something to like in Xenosaga.
Probably.
It's really, really good, but famously, it was developed by Monolith Soft, the team within Square Enix that broke off after developing Xenogears and Square Enix kind of canceling any Xenogears sequels. They left Square Enix, formed Monolith Soft, and partnered with Bandai Namco to publish their next series of games, the Xenosaga games, which, because Xenogears was owned by Square Enix, they couldn't do like a direct continuation of that like they wanted to. So they came up with Xenosaga as a way to still carry on the spirit of what they wanted to accomplish with Xenogears if it became a full franchise, but then like expand on it more. So famously, Xenosaga was planned as a 6-game franchise that would like the story would start in the first game and span 6 titles. Unfortunately, due to poor sales of Xenosaga 3, Bandai Namco pulled the plug and canceled the rest of the games in the series.
Which is incredibly unfortunate.
Yeah, and the even more disappointing thing about that is, from everything that I've heard about the games, the third game is the best one yet. So they had a little bit of a stumble with Xenosaga 2, and I think that just kind of ruined the goodwill of the franchise. So that way, going into 3, it didn't sell as well. Maybe Bandai didn't put as much marketing behind it because the second game didn't perform as well critically. But yeah, so the third game did not sell well despite being the most praised of the games in the series, and Bandai pulled the plug. What I would love to see would be this series put back in the hands of Monolith Soft, like released. Like, I would love to see Bandai Namco release this series, give it back to Monolith Soft, and then with Nintendo, develop the final 3 games in the series to complete the story.
Yeah.
Because, like, we've seen it through the Xenoblade series, like, it's only grown in popularity through, like, Nintendo just kind of letting them take their time and do their thing, and it's paid off for them over the years. The Xeno series as a whole is bigger than it's ever been.
I mean, even if it's not like a full release from Bandai Namco, I mean, from my personal experience, looking back at like Star Fox Assault, that game was built as a collaboration between Namco and Nintendo, and it's one of my favorite games on the GameCube. So like, they could just, 3-way collaboration between them and continue the series on would be great.
Yeah, and like that's something that even in more recent times, that's something that Bandai has not shied away from.
Yeah.
They do have a good working relationship with Nintendo.
I would hope so.
The unfortunate thing is they were collaborating with Nintendo for something very recently, but they ended up canceling that within the last couple of weeks or so. Oh. I don't think that was Xenosaga related. I think it was something else entirely, but nobody really knew the details of that project. We just knew that they were collaborating with Nintendo for some kind of unannounced project that now, unfortunately, probably won't see the light of day.
Yeah.
But it would be really cool to let Monolith Soft kind of pick up and finish that franchise. I mean, now that Xenoblade is kind of wrapped up and they're looking at doing something new, I don't know if they'd themselves be interested in going all the way back to a franchise that last entry was like 2006, I think. But it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to at least get these games on modern hardware so that way people don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to play them.
Yeah.
So there's that. We could start there. Just remaster these games.
Please.
Please. I mean, we just got the Batten Kaitos games remastered last year.
Yeah.
Those were developed by Monolith Soft, published by Bandai Namco. So, like, why can't we have Xenosaga?
Yeah.
Why can't we have Xenosaga?
Why can't we have Galaga 4?
Right? But, like, the thing that Xenosaga, that stands out about Xenosaga also is just Cosmos being one of the most awesome character designs ever.
Yeah.
Just this badass android.
Yep.
Yeah. She's such a cool character design, and I would love to see this series come back.
I would
in some way. It would be great. Even if it's just remastering the trilogy that's already there. I mean, it's something. Just bring it back. Bring it back. But anyway, Lucas, what's your last series?
Well,
oh,
it's
wow.
one that,
It ties right into this one, doesn't it?
yeah, it does. This is also an science fantasy RPG series from years ago. It's Phantasy Star Classic.
Yeah.
Specifically, like the classic traditional turn-based RPG style Phantasy Star. I mean, really, Phantasy Star in general, it's like, sure, Phantasy Star Online 2 just came out stateside a few years ago, but that game originally released in 2013. It's been basically on life support ever since because they refused to release it stateside and then didn't get a big resurgence until it came out again. So, but also, like, looking back at the timeline of the classic Phantasy Star series, like Phantasy Star 1, Phantasy Star 2, Phantasy Star 4, Phantasy Star 3. Yes, that is the timeline order. They all take place roughly about a millennium apart from each other. So, like, I,
So even though they're the same universe, they're not like connected like story-wise. You don't have to play the previous entry to play the other, essentially.
you really don't. Like, yeah, the classic Phantasy Star series, as is, takes place across about 4,000 years. Yep. Yeah, Phantasy Star 1 takes place somewhere in like the early 300s AW. Phantasy Star 2 takes place about like I think like 1284, 1285 AW. And yeah, like that's between your first and second main entries in the series. So like they absolutely could release a Phantasy Star 5, like kind of set in the same setting of the Algol star system that the classic games take place in, and no one would really miss anything because, each game takes place literally millennia apart, which is also kind of funny because, like, when you think about it, Phantasy Star 1, 2, 3, and 4 did take place in the previous millennium compared to our current time. I feel old.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a new millennium in the time it's been since a classic PSO or Phantasy Star game took place. And
Woof.
Phantasy Star Online doesn't count as a successor well, it does count, but Phantasy Star Online takes place in its own universe, separate from the classic Phantasy Star series, as does Phantasy Star Universe and its related games. And Phantasy Star Online 2, even though in name is a sequel to Phantasy Star Online, is also in its own universe. So we have not visited the Algo star system since Phantasy Star Online 3 Generations of Doom, which I've checked the timeline on, does canonically take place after Phantasy Star Online or Phantasy Star 4. But yeah, I do really enjoy the like sort of Phantasy Star classic gameplay formula, and just want to fight Dark Falls in a game produced in the 21st century, but in the Algol star system this time, please. But really, though, I feel like with the huge resurgence of JRPGs in popularity, like we've got the Persona games and Phantasy Star, or Final Fantasy, the game with fantasy in it that people like.
Yeah. Because they spelled fantasy correctly.
Yeah, but we spelled it with PH, so it's cool.
It's very
like,
Sega.
Yeah, we're like, it's fat spelled with PH, cool. Yeah. Look at me, I'm Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. Yeah, with the resurgence of like, JRPG games that we're seeing, we've got between Metaphor and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, like 2 nominees for Game of the Year candidates.
Yeah.
Phantasy Star 5, like a classic Phantasy Star style game, probably would do pretty okay, I think.
Yeah, if they put the right team behind it, I could see
Yeah.
it easily being up there.
It would be cool. I'd play it.
Yeah, I think the trick is Sega just needs to find the right team to do it.
Yeah. And, they're plenty capable of making a good game. Just whether or not they decide to or not.
Right.
They put together, we're up to Yakuza 8 as good games from Sega.
Mm-hmm.
That they could put the effort into a Phantasy Star 5. Give us a good, proper turn-based RPG style game like the classic series.
Here's the thing.
Or even...
Here's the thing, is I actually think RGG Studio would do an amazing Phantasy Star game.
I think so, too.
I mean, their turn-based Yakuza games have already been really, really solid turn-based RPGs. But then also they've got range as well as a team because they also make Monkey Ball.
Yes.
So I think they could probably figure out a way to make a pretty darn good science fantasy RPG.
Yeah. Honestly, they would probably be perfect for it, considering, like, Ichiban straight up says that he sees the world as Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
And Phantasy Star's battle system is honestly probably very Dragon Quest inspired.
Yeah,
I haven't actually played any of the Dragon Quest games, but it's very much like, I don't know, it reminds me of Earthbound, but without like the odometer style health bars, which I've heard is very reminiscent of like the classic Dragon Quest games.
Yeah.
So like that right there tells me all I need to know about like this should be the team to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, now the more we think about this, the more I would actually really love to see an RGG developed Phantasy Star game.
Please.
That'd be so cool.
Send some love to Phantasy Star instead of just trying to keep Phantasy Star Online 2 on life support with New Genesis.
Yeah.
The game should have came out 10 years ago.
Should have.
Maybe then we wouldn't look so down upon New Genesis. Not that I've played New Genesis to know whether or not it's good or bad. Only heard things.
I still don't even know what it is. Because, like, the trailers that they released before they released it didn't really illustrate what it was.
Yeah.
One of these days I'm just going to have to install it and figure it out.
Yeah, me too.
I need to know.
Yeah.
What if it's good? What if it's good, actually?
Yeah. I still need to finish episode 5, which was in itself really cool because it takes place in a alternate reality where you get to see, or like sort of alternate universe takes on classic Phantasy Star characters. Like you get to meet Alice Landale.
Oh, cool.
And Lutz, who is not named Noah actually, but long story. Anyways, Phantasy Star, for some reason, the English localization changed Lutz's name to Noah, even though there was no reason they really needed to do that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's why I've been like, whenever I've been talking about Lutz in regards to Phantasy Star, I've been putting it with strike through markdowns as Lutz before saying Noah. Yeah, he's kind of placed in the role of Lassic, which is something. But yeah, you get to meet and interact with classic Phantasy Star series characters in episode 5, which is really cool for someone who's as big a fan of Phantasy Star as I am.
Yeah. So Neal, what do you got for your last game franchise?
All right. So, me and I've heard of this, but back in 2006, there was this franchise called Sonic the Hedgehog. It had been around for maybe about 15 years at the time, and they released this game they just called Sonic the Hedgehog for its 15th anniversary. And this game was broken and unfinished and almost in an alpha state. And it was so bad, killed the franchise. But earlier games, there's some decent gameplay, especially the original games that were on the Sega Genesis. So, if I was to bring Sonic back, I'd highlight some of Sonic's like old 2D elements, while also like developing. They had these mock speed sections that were kind of cool because you could go so fast, but because the game was broken, it was very hard to control. But I could see taking that idea, making it better, and making it more like speedrun focused style gameplay. Probably clean up the animation, some cutscenes. Unfortunately, with how Sonic is, the levels would probably create very short gameplay time, especially if you're doing 3D gameplay, if you're going so fast. So you would need some kind of padding. So, since this is Halloween, here's a silly, spooky idea for what you could do. You could have Sonic turn into a werewolf, and then this werewolf Sonic would have more combat-focused gameplay. Kind of a wild thing.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Huh.
What's up?
Wait a minute. So...
What's up?
You want to bring back Sonic Unleashed as a franchise.
Sonic Unleashed? What?
What is going on?
Are you saying there's another Sonic game beyond Sonic 06? Where am I?
What is happening?
Oh.
What is happening?
Hold on. So are
I'm
you saying
so
that
lost.
Are you saying that Sonic as a franchise still exists right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
What is happening?
I am in the wrong timeline.
What is happening?
Who's the president? Who's the president of the United States right now?
George Clooney.
George Clooney. Whoa. Oh God. All right. Well, I gotta get back to where I'm supposed to be. Sorry about all this. Bye.
What is happening?
I'm back. I don't know
what is going on.
A while ago, and it's taking me a second to get back. So, were we on to my my third suggestion?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
So it is. I would like to bring back the Sonic All Stars Racing franchise. What?
What? What? What? What is going on?
Are you okay, Colin?
I don't know.
But in all seriousness, I would like to bring back Sonic All Stars Racing. This is kind of cool because, like, it actually brings back franchises that are dead. Because that's what Sega All Stars did. We had Jet Set Radio. We had House of the Dead. We had tons of stuff. What?
You might say it really unleashed those dead franchises.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like that Sonic game that came out definitely in this timeline.
Yep.
Oh God.
They should put some Fantasy Star characters in.
Yes, I was totally going to bring that up too. Because they're not actually in either of the two Sega All-Stars racing games, which sucks. I would love to see like a Pioneer 2 level where like you go to the different parts of, what's the planet's name again, Lucas?
Raggle.
Yeah, like you could go to the forest and the caves and all in one track.
Here's what's especially weird about the lack of Phantasy Star characters is Phantasy Star Online, at least, was developed by Sonic Team.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
And also, Yuji Naka was involved in the original Phantasy Star series.
Yep.
True.
Why would they not put Phantasy Star characters in there?
I have no idea. But that's why I want a third. I mean, I guess fourth, because they did Team Sonic Racing, but that wasn't the same. Like, yeah, the Sonic references were crazy, but I liked being able to play as football manager Danica Patrick. For lack of being able to think of good ones. I don't know.
Yeah.
They should take it one step further.
Mm-hmm.
Get in touch with Hasbro and do Sonic and Sega All-Stars cross Transformers racing.
Yeah. I mean, they already did some like reaching out to like other franchises, like with Banjo-Kazooie and I want to say they did Team Fortress 2 was another one for the PC port.
But like all the cars are actually Transformers.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I could see that being like DLC at the very least. But yeah, it was really, really good. The gameplay was great. Why have we only had Team Sonic Racing? And that was what, 2017 that came out?
Yeah.
It's been too long, and I definitely want them to go back to Sega All-Stars. But maybe Sega has some weird rule. I don't know. But Sumo Digital knocked it out of the park with both of the original 2 games, and I'd love to see more.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pass it over to Colin. What's your last game? Franchise.
Transformers.
Hey, segue.
Hey.
Yeah, I blanked for a second. I was like, wait a minute. For the second time in this episode, no, third time. I've teased at some point all 3 of my picks without actually like outright saying them. Well, I mean, I outright said Splinter Cell and Transformers, but I didn't like say them with the intent of like foreshadowing them at all. Yeah, the Transformers Cybertron series, though. That would be specifically War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, developed by High Moon Studios, published by Activision. Part of the reason they are MIA nowadays.
Right.
But they had a really cool storyline going that was sort of a bridge leading into the original Transformers series that I would love to see them elaborate on. They had a 3rd game that came out in the franchise, but this was after High Moon Studios was kind of absorbed into Call of Duty Map Duty or Port Duty or whatever. So they didn't actually develop the 3rd game. It was called Rise of the Dark Spark, and it basically was designed to be like a Transformers Age of Extinction movie tie-in game that they just kind of shoehorned the Fall of Cybertron universe into because they had all those assets created already.
Right.
So naturally, I did not touch that game because it disgusted me that they would even attempt to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron were incredible games. And if they were to actually continue that storyline and bring it to Earth with like an actual G1 twist on it, then that would be really cool and a nice actual evolution of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So they should do that. And there is a store listing on Xbox right now for at least Fall of Cybertron. And also, unfortunately, Rise of the Dark Spark is there too. And also Transformers Devastation, which was a G1 inspired game developed by Platinum Games. But they're on the Xbox store right now as placeholder listings. You can't buy them yet. So I'm hoping soon we'll at least be able to buy those games on the Xbox again and at least be able to play those again on modern systems, at least as far as Xbox is concerned.
Uh-huh.
But I want a new one. I want High Moon Studios to make a new one instead of just being a Call of Duty port team. Because the entire reason that they got put on Call of Duty port support to begin with was because they made the Deadpool game back in like 2014, 2015. And the game kind of flopped. Or at least it didn't sell as well as Activision wanted it to. So at that point in Activision's like history and stuff, they were like, well, that was the point where they were really starting to basically become the Call of Duty publisher, and that was it. So if your studio made a game that didn't perform to their standards, you just became another Call of Duty studio, essentially. And because the Deadpool game failed, Activision was like, we're going to put you guys on Call of Duty. And we never got a true sequel to Fall of Cybertron. Yeah, it's a bummer because that game was incredible. It still holds up to this day. I just played it last year on my Steam Deck. It still holds up.
Yep.
So I wish we could get more, but that remains to be seen. At least Hasbro is interested in it. But like there's been like a bunch of random Transformers games that have come out over the last couple of years that I keep finding out about, and then I look at them and they're just like this just hot garbage designed to sell to kids. Like there was this one I found out about literally this couple days ago. I just found out this game existed. I don't even remember what it's called, but it's like a racing combat game where you're playing as Transformers characters and you're racing, and then you can transform mid-race and like fight each other and stuff. But like the racing looked okay. The robot mode fighting looked god awful. Like just the most terrible, clunky stuff you could ever think of. It looked terrible. It was like, remember when we used to get good Transformers games?
Yeah.
Remember?
Did you ever try the Angry Birds Transformers crossover?
I don't remember. I feel like I might have, like way, way back when Angry Birds was not oversaturated. Because that was like right at the... No, that was like right at the tail end of it, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I forget where it happened. It was when they had already done like Star Wars and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I know I played the Star Wars one. And
first Star Wars one was good.
Yeah, and I had one of the earlier Angry Birds games on the Xbox 360.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I don't remember. I just miss getting good Transformers games.
Mm-hmm.
We got 2 very, very good Transformers games that were like good enough that you could play them even if you're just a fan of third-person shooters with a casual interest in Transformers. You can play these games, and they were just solid shooting games. And then never again, because Activision.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, let's move on to our next segment, our weekly Link to the Past, and releasing today, the date of recording, 7 years ago on October 27, 2017. It's a lot of sevens, y'all. Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. It's a really good game.
Yeah, it sure is.
I remember when this game came out, people were so hyped for Mario to go back to the 3D style of gameplay that was last in like Galaxy, maybe?
Yeah, I think at this point, Galaxy 2 was the last 3D Mario.
Yep.
It just like 3D...
because 3D Land came out and 3D World came out. It wasn't the same brand of 3D Mario.
Yeah,
that's why people were excited. And Galaxy 2 was somewhere between those two styles.
Yeah.
I've had this game on my wish list on my Switch for probably almost...
You still haven't played Odyssey?
I have not.
What?
You really should. It's so good.
So here's the problem.
What?
When I buy games on my Switch, it's generally either for the podcast or Sonic, because I found a good Sonic game on the Switch, or maybe some party games. Mario games, the good ones...
This is a good Sonic game on the Switch, Neal.
The good ones always cost like $60, and they barely ever go on sale because they don't have to.
Right.
Yeah. But you've had 7 years to save up $60, Neal.
That's true.
If you were saving $10 a year, you could have bought it last year. This is... If there's a must-play game on the Nintendo Switch, it's Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll find it used at a gaming store and pick it up for like $40.
You should.
You definitely should.
I definitely want to. It's just 1,000 Year Door, Super Mario RPG. What are the other ones? I mean, they re-released 3D World. Honestly, I wouldn't be too disappointed with the new Super Mario Bros. Whichever one it is. It's on there.
You should definitely get Odyssey.
That too, yeah. I want all of these games, but indecision.
At this point, you should definitely prioritize Odyssey.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
The Switch 2 is coming out next year, and you haven't even played Mario Odyssey yet. What is going on?
The launch title.
It wasn't a launch title.
It wasn't.
Switch has one launch title.
launch year title.
Oh, and
Yeah.
wasn't there like Clipper Snips or something like that? That was also for 1, 2, 3 Switch. Something.
Yep.
There's 1, 2 Switch, and oh god, why am I blanking out? There's a Bomberman game, I thought.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Super Bomberman R.
You have at least played Puyo Puyo
And Breath of the
Tetris,
Wild.
Right?
Of course, I do have that one.
What, Breath of the Wild or Puyo Puyo Tetris?
Both.
Yes.
Ah. See, I have both too, but I've only played one of them, and it's not the one.
Yeah, see, and then Lucas, you need to play Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
You guys.
I exist to torture Colin.
Sole purpose.
Apparently.
Get up to heaven. God will be like, you did a good job. Congrats, Lucas.
Maybe Colin should play Puyo Puyo Tetris.
I have played it. I played it at your house.
Yeah. You lost terribly, so you need to play it more.
I still don't think that would help me at this point.
Sure it would. Ignore the fact that I've been playing Kirby's Avalanche for the Super Nintendo, which is actually just a port of Puyo Puyo 2. Since, like, I don't know, I got that as a birthday present, like, decades ago. As painful as it is to say decades.
I still can't believe I'm finding out that I'm the only person on this podcast that has played both of the 2 main Switch launch year titles.
I played one of them.
Let's move on. Let's get out of here. That's the end of episode 62.
Quick, before we inflict more emotional damage to Colin.
I've suffered so much this episode. Lucas, where can they find you outside the podcast?
Oh, you can find me on Linktree at linktr.ee/Karn_evil_999. It's got links to my YouTube channel where I upload long plays of the games we feature in our That One Game series of episodes. I also just recently started to do some non-TOG stuff, but also related to TOG stuff in the form of That One Game extras, which are like related to the games that we've talked about, but aren't the games we've talked about. So yeah, you can check out Phantasy Star Online Episode 2, coming slowly but surely. First episode's live already, as previously mentioned at the beginning of this episode. You can also find me on Steam there, as well as my Twitter account, where I mostly retweet stuff Colin tweets, because, you know, you should really check out Colin's covers of the Mega Man X boss stage themes that are
indeed
they're happening.
Yeah. And then, of course, links to join our podcast Discord and catch up on the podcast. That's linktr.ee/Karn_evil_999.
All right. And where can they find Neal outside the podcast?
I am also on Linktree at linktr.ee/FamK9. Mostly there you'll find my Twitch links. I do Minecraft Monday every Monday at 6:30 or 7 on twitch.tv/FamK9. Also, you can find links to my various things I do for the podcast, including the Discord and Colin's music channel, which my latest one that I put up was kind of a cheat. It was the Big Arms / Final Boss theme from Sonic 3K, which was a video that I kind of just tuned up from a version of this video that was at the end of the Sonic 3K TOGP episode that was out in, 2022 of last year? Or 2022, I think? I don't know. Anyway, it was out a while ago, but it was stuck at the end of that episode. There was a different video, both on the Delicious Morsels channel at the time, and now the Delicious Morsels music. So this visualizer was just trapped at the end of like a multiple hour video. So I decided to bring it over since Sonic and Knuckles turned 30 years old last week. So
wow.
Yeah.
I feel old.
Pain.
Anyway, Colin, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Delicious Morsel and also YouTube at youtube.com/deliciousmorsels and youtube.com/@deliciousmorselsmusic, where we've made mention of already. There's stuff from Celeste that is all out now. There's the Sonic 3 and Knuckles Big Arm song. It's out now. And now Mega Man X songs are coming. And then after the Mega Man X stuff goes up, we're going to start slowing it down to doing one video a week instead of two, just to kind of give myself time to record more things so that way we can just kind of keep a steady cadence of stuff coming out on that channel at all times. So yeah, because I don't want to run. I mean, we still have so much backlog stuff to get through, but I don't want to run out of stuff and then not have anything else to put up. So this way I'm locked and loaded for quite some long time to come on that channel. So it's actually been doing pretty well lately. The Celeste confronting myself video really defied expectations.
Yeah, holy cow.
That thing got picked up by some part of the algorithm or something. It's sitting over 650 views over the last week already. It's just like, wow. So,
yeah, I remember when I made that, I put a spoiler at the beginning for the gameplay spoiler that footage is. And I was worried, like, this probably will get people clicking away and it'll get algorithmically demoted. And it's like, no, other way around.
Yep. It's like, dang. So that was pretty cool. And that was fun to watch and keep tabs on. And I'm really enjoying seeing feedback coming in on that channel as well. Because for the longest time, I was very reluctant to put my music on YouTube. Just because some very poor experiences with commenters in the distant past when I was still very early on in my music recording life. So nope. Now that I've got it, now I've got a level of confidence in what I'm putting out and stuff that feels good to see people enjoy it because I enjoy making it. Let's see. And then what else? Oh yeah. I've kind of softly teased twitch.tv/deliciousmorsels on the last couple episodes. And last week I announced that I am actually returning to Twitch streaming for the first time in over 2.5 years. And well, it was supposed to happen this past Thursday, and then I got home from work and my car was smoking up from under the hood. So I had to investigate that and figure out what was going on with that instead of getting set up for my stream that night. So I had to cancel it. So actually, my first Twitch stream in over 2.5 years is coming up this Thursday, as of you listening to this episode, as of this episode going live. Coming up this Thursday, which is also coincidentally Halloween. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be streaming my favorite kinds of games out there. RPGs. Because I know if I'm because I did indie games before and I do enjoy them, but my heart wasn't really in it the same way that it would be in it with like an RPG, like Final Fantasy and stuff. And like these games are my DNA sort of thing, where with the indie games is like I was kind of trying to just kind of keep up with whatever was fresh and topical at the time that I was doing those streams. It wasn't the right approach to a streaming type of thing. So I'm taking a new approach and one that I hope to stick to for very long to come. It's starting out, it's just going to be one night a week. There will be at some point, if I can keep this thing going, at some point I will be moving it to 2 days a week. But that's not for quite some time yet. I really want to get things rolling and get through these Kingdom Hearts Discord streams in the Discord before I even start to think about adding another day or whatever to streaming and stuff. But I'm starting with World of Final Fantasy, which is a spin-off Final Fantasy game that came out in 2016. Yeah, something like that. But it kind of features a bunch of like really adorable chibified cameos of basically every Final Fantasy like main character from the series. And that's about all I know about it. Apparently, like there's some like Pokemon-esque like monster catching mechanics in it. I know nothing about this game. So it's my first ever time playing it, and I'm really looking forward to it and discovering it and streaming it for people to come and hang out, and it'll be fun. Plans are every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then the VOD will be live on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/deliciousmorsels, the very next day at noon. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. You can find a link to my Twitch down below as well. I'm going to be adding that back to these episode description things. Yeah. But I guess that's all. So thanks for listening. And as always, if you liked what you heard here today, please be sure to hit the subscribe button where that's an option. Leave us a very nice, positive, maybe consider a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, because I hear they like that stuff. We like that stuff. It helps people find this show. If you like this show, it's really nice if people are also able to find it. Hit the like button if that's a thing, and feel free to share this episode with a friend. We are going to be back in a couple weeks with another episode. Might be another That One Game episode. You'll just have to wait and see. But until then, have a wonderful rest of your day, and remember,
play for the zombie cows.
Stay for the werewolf hedgehogs.
Oh, you were so teed up for werebears, and you were so teed up for.
Shoot! Let's do it again.
We made the werebears joke last week. Let's go. Goodbye, everybody.